With that said, the Echo Saber Weaver build,
Oh
the
yeah,
item that doesn't work on range heroes.
Classic.
I do have to apologize for bringing that one up. That's like the tiny detail that I forgot. It's like, oh, it
Yeah,
doesn't
dude.
actually work on this hero.
It's hard. It seems so stupid once you realize, oh yeah, right,
Yeah.
duh. But in the moment, it's all the new items, man. Old habits die hard. It
Yeah.
takes a while to get all of it.
Hopefully,
locked into memory.
moving forward in this game, we won't bring up Echo Saber Zeus, although that's legit as well, right?
Echo Saber Zeus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that'll
Get
that'll
the
be one
double
for the ages.
double attack.
Echo Saber for the stats, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. So again, first pick Doom. This has been the recurring theme for all 4 of the games that we've
Has
casted
Doom
now.
won every single game today? It has on our stream.
Yeah. So far, 100% win rate.
Heroes OP.
He seems good. I
Yeah.
mean, he just seems hard to shut down. That's the biggest thing from all the games, all the different all the different builds and stuff we've seen. It seems like that even when they do shut him down, he just recovers better than most
Yeah.
heroes, and a lot of that's because of Devour. I mean,
In second
makes
game,
sense.
I believe we saw Q. The HYM
Mhm.
blocked both camps like
He was-
continuously.
he was Radiant off lane, and they blocked his camp near the Ancients and the pull camp near the tower.
Right, and he was level 2, maybe like 2 minutes in, which is terrible for a Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like went in jungle for a bit, came out, got a gank or
Don't
two.
worry, guys.
Yeah.
I got this. We're bringing it back. No big deal. Don't fret. Again, Alchemist banned out here alongside the Bounty Hunter by EHOME.
And the axe.
And Axe, yeah.
Look, man, axe so far is 0-1. I'm not convinced, but okay.
I still think he's scary. Again, it's just one of those heroes that's just hard to play against. And once he gets out of control, how do you deal with him?
I like to believe it. I like to see it win, but we don't see it.
He's a fun hero. He's really fun to watch. Now we're going to see a change of pace. This is a hero that EHOME loves, the Nature's Prophet.
Oh, yeah. Good hero.
Oh, yeah. On this patch, was Nature's Prophet changed at all?
Well, Blaymail got buffed.
Yep.
And I think his treants have a little bit less vision, and they give more gold, I think.
Yes, the bounty was increased by a fair bit. The range was 14 to 20. Now it's 18 to 24, and yeah, the vision was reduced from 1,000 slash 800 at different levels to just a static 5. So
Yeah, it doesn't.
those are pretty minor, I think.
I mean, still the most broken thing about him is obviously teleport,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that laning stage, even though he's like a squishy range hero, he could pull creeps where he wanted to be. So.
And he's also just very versatile, sort of similar to the Doom in that vein, where he can either go jungle, he can be off lane,
Or backstabbing your mid,
Yep,
Even better in that regard.
and you can gear up as just an all-out pusher, go for like a Necronomicon, maybe get a Desolator and just be the super rat, or you can be kind of a right-clicker semi-carry, go that like phase drum Orchid style build, where your right-click's actually really hard, or even a Blade Mail,
Triple no Blaymail, let's go.
Do you think that could happen? I mean, now that Blade Mail's so good, like... could that build come back? Maybe not triple null tally, but, the Blade Mail Prophet was really good in its heyday.
I mean, I think against certain lineups where when you TP behind them, they can't do anything except damage, like maybe a Zeus.
Oh,
That would be much better. I don't know against Bad or Doom, because...
Yeah. That is one of the issues with it. When people see it, they just say, okay, well, don't fight the Prophet for the next 10 minutes,
Right.
and you can just play defensive, and it becomes kind of a wasted sunk cost. But
We'll see.
yeah, again, the Bat Rider for CDEC, I think Yao played pretty well in the last game. They had bigger issues than just the Bat Rider. I think it was more that good positioning from the Abaddon, constantly like there, and he didn't always get the cleanse on the lasso, but it was always a threat, and that is enough to make Yao think twice about those initiations, which has an effect. You could really feel it in that game.
Yeah, and the Abaddon also did the other half of the push, right? The cleanse was great, but the push to suit it up with Vlad's to go behind is great. A Drow Ranger ban.
Huh.
Okay, I wonder if it's like in scrims, EHOME run the Prophet Drow, combo-ish.
Like I could see like a Drow Visage Prophet lineup being really hard to deal with.
Just obnoxious.
Yeah.
Okay, no Drow.
Even just having the aura on the Prophet in the laning stage is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's the big part too. Just like supports can't trade right hits with Prophet all of a sudden.
Yeah. Drow Ranger. I think the Hurricane item, the Hurricane Pike is so good for Drow.
Did you see my petition to rename the item?
To
Dragon Force.
Dragon Force.
Because it's from a Dragon Lance and a Force Staff.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Slash
Slash
sounds
wanted to change
cooler.
it to Tornado Pike. His big gripe with it is that hurricanes are built on bodies of water, like the ocean,
Okay.
and tornadoes happen on land. And since Dota is mostly a land game, it doesn't really make sense for it to
What
be a
if
hurricane.
you use it in the river?
Yeah, but the river's not like... You don't get a hurricane from a river. It's like massive bodies of water that make hurricanes. It's like an ocean thing.
Fair enough.
So you got to get into the geography and the lore of the Dota map to really I like yours though, Dragon Force. That would be easier. I'm gonna start calling it that. I think just because.
I don't know. People's
it
gonna
makes
be
sense.
like, you don't know the item name, bro.
And the Oracle ban here from CDEC.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the last game a little bit, but
Protecting the Bat Rider.
yeah, yeah, it's really good against the Bat Rider.
Although you can make the argument that Abaddon may be better, right? In
Yeah.
that regard.
Well, I think Oracle has. It's a longer cooldown, but it has a much longer range, which I think
Yes.
is the thing that Oracle brings to the table on that.
And pretty
front.
much instantaneous cast over the Abaddon, relatively slower cast time as well.
Yeah, it does have a cast point. That's true.
All right, so back to EHOME's side. They got their off lane. They got a support. What are we looking at?
Well, don't forget it could be that jungler as well. They have a lot of ways that they could round out this draft. So far, we haven't, like we talked about, like how do you actually shut down the Doom? Is there a hero that comes to mind that is like, all right, they picked Doom, we got to go with?
I mean, there's no hero that works well being silenced, right?
Yeah.
Actually, the old counter to Doom has been like Viper as well as
Viper.
Razor.
Yeah.
The heroes that don't care about being shut down.
I mean, the other way to deal with them is just go for like a multi-core lineup where everybody's a good Doom target. So,
Right.
okay, sure, yeah, you Doom the Prophet, but then you got all these other heroes that are running amok. And Spectre, I think, does kind of fit the bill there. They could move into like a Zeus 4th pick and go for this crazy global strat. Blink
Okay.
Dagger Lion,
I see
initiate. I like it.
I am somewhat concerned about Spectre's laning phase. I mean, obviously she's very good once you get the phase boots, but you don't start with phase boots. So, would it be a world Spectre started with phase boot, right?
Lumi 2016. Well, you don't start the game with face.
You don't. you can't. Why are you laughing? That's true.
No,
though.
it's true. It's just a funny thing. I've never heard someone explain it like that
Yeah,
before.
yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, in the first couple of levels, like for example, if you throw Undying in her lane, she gets a little bit a tough time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you can't start with Windlace. That's a
Yeah.
poor man's face. God damn it, Zyori. Come on.
Oh god, where is the or not the the Undying, man? That's another hero that's really fallen off.
He did get buffed this patch. The Tombstone no longer gets Shrek by illusions.
Oh yeah, that's actually huge. That feels more like a fix than a buff, really.
Like
I feel
the way it always should have been.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't make sense.
Like
that
whenever I
illusions-
see PL on the other side, I'm playing Undying. I'm like, why am I playing this hero? It's like
Yeah. Well, this is a great offlaner to have against Spectre, the Darkseer. Ion Shell constantly going to be spamming creeps. Spectre's going to have to last hit under the tower.
the Orgo
Never
ban.
fun.
The Orgo ban now makes a lot more sense as well. Like it's not just for the bat; it's also very good against Darkseer,
Yeah, yeah.
debuffing the Iron Shells and whatnot.
Yeah, great point. Now CDEC, they've got basically 3 offlaners. So what does this mean for the lanes?
Well, what we saw out of EHOME last game is they paired the Doom +1 in the offlane. A Doom plus Darkseer.
That could be all right. So then what do you do with the bat, though? Do you just put the bat
Yeah.
mid with a support? Or?
I don't know. Maybe this is like a Doom support, right? Bat mid. I mean, S4 does it.
Yeah. I guess it sort of depends on what the mid matchup is, but Bat Rider can go mid. It's just tricky. And Lich has actually made it all the way through without being picked up so far. Might be something CDEC consider here. Like a Bat Rider Lich mid lane could be pretty decent.
Okay. So the stuff I wonder if this is picked as a way to deal with Bat before he gets Force Staff. He blinks it and immediately like glimpse him, and he'll get glimpsed outside of the length of the coil and the length of the flaming missile, flaming lasso.
Yeah.
Flaming missile is something else, and then the lasso breaks.
Yeah.
So it's also very good if you see somebody gets lasso, you just like put on the circle, put on the Thunderdome, and things happen.
Yeah, and sometimes you can get quote-unquote lucky or make clutch plays just with the Static Storm where the bat blinks in and then you drop the ult and he's unable to get the lasso off.
Okay.
So CDC take PL. That's probably their mid laner. So maybe it's a safe lane Bat Rider. I think
could
this
be
is a
carry
great way
too.
to do it. Yeah.
Could be carry PL. I mean,
Could go either way.
generally I only see PL mid versus like invokers, right?
Well, it could still be an Invoker mid.
That is true. Of course, EHOME also working with like some semi-global kind of thing here.
Yeah.
With Raph and Haunt.
I feel like they need to take a mid laner that has some kind of control. They are light on just general team fight disables. Like you got single targets from Lion, but
How do you feel about a Puck?
I actually really like Puck here.
The thing is, I'm concerned about this PL because right now, you don't really have a good way to deal with them. If you get the Blink Hex online on the real one, great. But
I mean, what are the best heroes to deal with PL? Like Earthshaker comes to mind, but They could do a core shaker in the mid, rush the Ags.
I mean, the traditional counter has been Ember Spirit, just to like
yeah.
cleave him down, but I don't think it fits this lineup, right? You have Spectre already needing a ton of farm.
Yeah. Spectre Ember is really scary, especially when you have a Prophet on the team as well. It's 3 heroes that need farm that have very little in the way of crowd
And
control.
well, they still take out the Ember.
Okay.
Like, you know, all right, has no bearings with this game. I tried Spectre support once.
Okay.
Hear me out, Zyori, all right?
I'm ready for this. I like this.
All right, you get a Shiva's guard.
Okay, first item? Like
Well, you're a
boot
support.
Shivas?
That's your only item,
okay,
right?
yeah.
You don't start with the phase boot either.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
All right, so you get Spectre on a Shiva, and you haunt and you press your Shivas, and you reality to all your illusions, thus applying the Shivas everywhere.
I mean, that's pretty creative. Bonus points for creativity.
Yeah, I lost the game, but it wasn't my fault. All right, CDEC is gonna round the draft here with Shadow Shaman. That's a lot more push, extra dimension.
Yeah.
Oh.
My. Bristleback. Okay.
Okay.
Well, he did get a minor buff with his Ags upgrade now. It has more range on the AoE.
I don't think I've ever seen Ags in a pro game, so.
I know. That was another one. When that patch hit, I was like, wow, this sounds really broken. And I picked Bristleback, rushed Ags, and it was not nearly as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah. Well, you are right. It's super playing the PL, so it looks like it's going to be mid. Wait.
So, but who's
safe
mid?
lane bat? Okay.
Yeah, I like the safe lane bat. I think that makes sense here because he'll be able to get a really fast blink. Heavy farm on him is really good. I mean, a fast force blink, you can't go wrong with that. But who's mid for EHOME here? Is this going to be like a Bristleback mid? Bristleback versus PL? That's kind of an odd matchup. Not really sure who has the advantage there, if anybody.
Well, Bristleback's going to just quill a lot in the lane. I actually want to say it's Bristleback favored. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the stick does really help mitigate it early on.
Yeah, we've been seeing like odd hero matchups and lanes all throughout this patch so far, right?
Yeah, we really have, and it's been a lot of dual lanes too. That the days of just the classic solo mid seem to be pretty much long gone.
Although, I mean, we don't have Lich in this game, so
can you believe Lich was completely ignored this game, not picked or banned?
I think Lich is maybe overrated after the nerf. Like, he's still very, very good, but I think the teams like rate him much higher than he actually is.
Okay, all right.
Well, because at the end of the day, he's a support hero without like a hard stun. Like in the late game, you could say that his impact is much lower than that of like a Lion Disruptor, Rasta.
Yeah, I don't think you ever pick Lich and go, all right, guys, I'm looking forward to 50 minutes into this game. You know, you're thinking more about just dominating the lanes and making the carry's life a living hell. But I do like the Rasta pickup. Another hero that is, often forgotten about, that brings a lot to the table, can get a lot of momentum, has Blink Hex initiation, and, of course, the pushing power. Also opens up more Roche possibilities. On the Dire side, the Serpent Wards are a great Roche tool.
I think maybe like 2.5 years ago, I remember sitting down looking up the stats between like Shadow Shaman on the Radiant side and Dire side, and there was like a clear 10% increase in terms of
that patch. Yeah.
Of how strong it is.
Yeah, that was I know exactly what you're talking about. The win rate was laughable.
All right, Super gonna get one rune, and the other one looks like Old Chicken's gonna pick it up. All right.
It's a race for the rune. Okay. So both mid laners gonna grab it here. PL starting with a wand, or a stick rather. A couple of pooled tangos.
So I just want to say that we have seen a grand total of 2 win laces in the 4 games that we casted, and both of them has been purchased by Doom. So like apparently they have agreed that only Doom gets the item, and on everyone else.
Well, we did see Lion pick it up in one game. Don't forget.
Okay.
We had Brown Boots win lace once. But I don't think we've seen anybody buy it at level 1 yet. Still has not been something that teams have really been going for. And I'm getting massive slideshow here. I might go for the old reconnect.
Okay. Well, let me know. It's fine over here, so I could cover it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna reconnect here. I'm gonna see if this will do us fine.
Okay. Well, we're not missing anything. There's cool spray happening on the mid lane, and PL's getting charges on his magic wand.
All right.
Meanwhile, we did see the good old Darkseer dual off lane kind of doing a little bit of work. I say that though, here comes EHOME supports kind of rotating around.
Yeah, here we go. Lanham and Fenrir, still nothing leveled up by Fenrir yet. That first point Thunderstrike will come out. Decent damage on Guardian, but probably not going to be enough for a first blood. Still really good harass here. He's pretty low on regen now.
Yep.
Just 1 tango remaining. And Reconnect fixed it, so there you go.
I think with Doom, especially in a dueling situation, he's much more dependent on the RNG. Like, for example, if he got the big Satyr creep,
Yeah.
that would make this lane much easier.
Dude, that creep is ridiculous. Plus
Yeah.
6 HP. It's just a free ring of health in the laning stage. That's
And
aura-based for your friends.
And your nuke.
Yep.
Like, let's not forget it hurts, like, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Granted, you can't spam it because you're Doom.
Yeah, he's got no mana, but it's often that perfect thing to just finish off a kill when someone's
Exactly.
about to get away.
Oh, Chicken racing for the top rune. Let's see what's he's got the useless illusion rune on the bristleback.
Hey, illusions are never useless. You know, stack some camps with it.
That is true. That's one of the things that I think players are not doing enough. Especially
Stacking
like
with illusion runes.
yeah, like especially for supports, right? Once
Yeah.
you pick it up, like you could just kind of park it into the neutrals and start stacking it.
Yeah. So Guardian now moving into the jungle. He's level 2 on the Doom, so he has the Devour as well as the Scorched Earth. Maybe look to rotate with some ganks. Q is actually smoked up here. Only level 1. Does have that first point in Shackles, and they may have a go on Ice Ice Ice. He's doing a good job scouting out with his little treants here, the pumpkins.
I think it might be enough. No, there's boots on Ice Ice Ice. He's out of there.
Yeah, great lane positioning as well, staying so close to this side so he gets vision of anybody that might come up. Well played, and a wasted smoke for Q.
All right.
Spectre, though, farming pretty well against the Darkseer, all things considered. He did have to go for that Quelling Blade early on, but last hitting under the tower pretty effectively. Only a couple last hits behind the leaders here, the Bat Rider and the Bristleback.
I imagine we're gonna have a relatively tame early game, just like both teams kind of farming away.
Yeah.
I say that though. Here comes Doom backstabbing. There's a boulder toss.
And old Chicken's in deep here. He doesn't have
All right.
any backup, but he's a Bristleback, so he just turns the back and
He's got his own back.
Yeah. Bristleback PL mid. It is kind of an odd matchup, but Bristleback is really farming well here. Can't do too much to slow down Super, but even a Bristle just basically free farming on his own has some merit.
Yeah.
I'm really curious how he's going to build item-wise, though.
Yeah, I think in this particular patch, Bristol got a lot of great items buffed. Blade Mail being one of them. The Vanguard being able to lead into Abyssal Blade's great for him. You have the pipe being cheaper because you know, one of the pieces is now.
Oh yeah, just
gone.
going for an early hood is a really legitimate course now for Bristleback.
Essentially, every single one of Bristleback's core item got buffed. So
That's a great point.
you know, I'm surprised that he's not picked up a little bit more. It looks like they're gonna make a go here on Super. I don't think they get the kill.
He has Doppelganger.
I say that Prophet's teleporting in as well. There's a double ganger. Can they sprout? They got the right one. Super will tangle himself out of there. And now the tower focusing on Old Chicken. Not going to be enough.
Yeah, very nice. Those coils really stacking up towards the end, and the last one secures the kill. First blood for the Bristle, who was already farming well. You know, we talked about the Prophet, but Ice 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 showing us what it's all about. Not just sitting in the lane, but rotating in and making that kill possible. Without the Sprout, they wouldn't have gotten that.
Yep. I mean, the Sprout at best, like, held him for maybe 0.5 seconds, but that 0.5 seconds made all the difference.
Yep.
And now he's back into lane where he's got, you know, EXP under his tower, so good stuff.
Yeah.
Rabbit's going to try his best to kind of zone him out of EXP range, and he's doing quite a good job.
Yep. Oh, gonna miss a kill down bottom. Spectre actually gonna get picked off here. Looks like Q finally finds the rotation that he was hoping for up top. And, of course, the high-value target.
Ice, Ice, Ice. A lot of trouble as well. Gets Flaming Lasso. TPs are coming in. I don't think it's going to be enough. Rabbit, though, might be in a little bit of trouble. Line dropping the right clicks. There's a Hex. A couple more is enough. Rabbit goes back in. Man's up here.
Oh, my God. He actually did it. A double kill for the Bat Rider.
All right, Rabbit had the bigger dick there. No joke. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's just winning.
Wow. And he
Against
knew his
lineup.
limits, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had tried to run, he might have been able to get away, but just realizing how much damage he can put out now. Level 7 and 1,800 gold at 5.5 minutes. This is going to be a damn quick Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Oh, Shackles onto the Disruptor.
That's
Yeah,
the
on his
message.
way over.
That's the message sent Shaco. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, man, I'm not going to kill you, but, you know, recognize.
Respect the lane, man.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what this Bat Rider can do. Safe lane farm. He's going to have an early Blink. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him to make plays happen with it, though.
Yeah. The nice thing about such an early blink is, like, he now leaves the lane, and then your Shaman could go in there and get the lane. Your Doom could go in there and get some EXP.
That's
so
true. And
it's
Shadow
good.
Shaman is decently underleveled. Almost 3, but having some solo time in that safe lane would definitely do him well in the next couple minutes.
No worry, you got the Tome of Knowledge.
That's true.
Just got to wait a couple minutes for that one.
Hang on there. 3 more minutes, buddy, and then you'll get halfway to the next level.
Did I tell you, like, when I play pubs, I have that thing on quick buy?
Yeah.
When it gets near, I just, like, spam the hell out of button.
Oh, that's a good job. I'm going to have to start doing that. I usually forget about it, and then someone else buys it, and I go, oh, damn.
I could have had that 450 EXP.
You stole
man.
my XP, bro.
Yeah.
Well, laning stage going pretty well for CDEC. The Bristleback is the main one for EHOME that is really getting a lot out of this. He's got a double damager now. He's stacking up the Ancients. He's already got a triple stack here, and it looks like he's going to be able to get a 4 stack off this. Yeah, sure will.
And he can clear it very easily once he gets a couple more points into Bristleback. He just stands there, back turn, and
spams the quills. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, you don't think about Bristle as like a great ancient clearer, but he actually is quite good at it. Q rotating in, but he sees the Disruptor nearby. Not going to be able to get the initiation that he wanted. Now the Haunt from Spectre, glimpse back onto Q. And they will commit some, well, quite a bit to kill him, actually. 4 heroes now, Spectre stuck in the top lane. So is a situation like this, is that worth it for Spectre to Haunt in for just a support pick-off? And now be stuck in the off lane?
It often comes down to whether he gets the last hit.
Okay.
So did he get the last hit in that
He
game?
did, actually.
Yeah. And sometimes, for example, when you have the drums, like you get a charge onto, that'll be helpful as well. And sure, he's stuck on the top lane, but he TP's back. So that's the nice thing about him.
Well,
so
I know I say that, but TPs are cheaper now as well. So that sunk cost is way less
I
comparatively.
think somebody even handed him a mango or something to give mana back. So
that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in that situation it worked out well for Old 11. But
so traditionally, it's generally been like your urns and drums on Spectre, but looks like he's gonna go for Vanguard this game here. Mostly for the Ring of Health, because he needs to sustain against the Darkseer.
Yeah. Lane. I think Vanguard Spectre is better than people give it credit for. If you do it in pubs, you just get mocked and laughed at, but it can be really good as long as you fight with it. Where it's bad is if you go the Vanguard and then you just passively farm a Radiance anyway, because then at that point you should have just gotten the ring and just gone straight for the Radiance. But if you're fighting, if you're using that ult every couple minutes when it comes off cooldown, the Vanguard can really be a great way to get involved and also get a lot of farm.
Well, I think regardless of what item you go for, Spectre should always fight whenever your ultimate's on cooldown. Like, you might not be the first one in with the Haunt, but for example, in that scenario where the Shaman was surrounded and glimpsed back by 4 heroes, that's just a free kill. And you should always get the free kills. Mid lane, the double ganger already committed, and Super is already way out of there.
Yep.
No Hex in range.
Yeah, things going pretty well for this PL. Even though he did die once, he's still pretty happy just farming away here. Level 8. Quite a bit of gold saved up at 1,200. Probably just pulling up for the BOT first item. Kind of similar to the way you play the Ember Spirit these days. Just get mobility, split push.
Okay.
And start farming up those core items. That's what I would guess at least.
Speaking of BOT, Bat, BOT first.
Wow, okay.
So paying a little bit of homage to Bone 7, who is at least the first person I've seen do this build. Kind of much more kind of a greedy, farming-oriented build, and it might seem awkward because you talked about how important it is to get the early blink to start the fight for your team. Well, you could now not only farm your jungle, you could even take farm away from the enemy jungle as well. You move relatively fast, you go from camp to camp, and you actually get to your next blink much quicker than you imagine.
And I think there is also sort of a diminishing return isn't the right word, but getting blink at 5 minutes is almost too early because your team isn't ready to fight with you to get kills with the blink. So at this point, like you said, he'll go BOTs, and he's still going to have a blink dagger at maybe 12 minutes here, 13 minutes or so. So it's not going to slow him down too much, and the rest of his team is pretty happy just farming. Darkseer is not quite online yet. Of course, the PL is still getting his basic farm going, so I think it really makes sense in this game.
It's like when we saw the Slaughter safe lane just now. Like, yes, he could have got a very early blink, but Midas and then the blink soon after. It's just a little bit better in that regards.
Yeah. Also curious to see what build Guardian goes for in the Doom here. Playing something a little bit different. He was their Lich player for games prior. He picks up the Tranquil Boots this go around. So
he's like, I'm not playing Lich now.
Yeah. Dude, we've seen a variety of Doom builds. We saw Arcane Boots last game, now going into Tranquils with a Bracer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be somewhat more standard, like your drums, maybe you fit a Windlace in there. Oh, the drums, you need a Windlace in drums.
Yeah.
And then you go either Vlad's or maybe Blink.
Yep. Kind of just
utility. Stuff,
utility, supportive Doom, yeah.
The thing I'm much more curious about, towards the ultra late game, if O11 will upgrade his Vanguard into Abyssal. Because if you think about it, Haunt push you right in melee range, and get the Abyssal in.
That's a good question.
That's like a kind of long down the road question.
I mean, I think for Bristleback, it is definitely a possibility. He likes to go Basher as sort of a late game item, and obviously wants Vanguard early on. There are a couple of these really beefy heroes that used to go for Abyssal, where this new change is actually really good. And you can just go for a Vanguard early on and then transition it later on into the game. Q up top, going to be initiated upon. Old 11 haunts in, and it'll be a nice, easy kill for EHOME. I think, as you called it, the free kills for Spectre. This one actually goes the way of Nature's Prophet, but Old 11 gets involved and now takes out some neutrals.
Good stuff, good stuff. You can make the argument that Bristle might go Crimson Guard instead.
Yeah.
Because it's fairly good for like the way that EHOME's been playing, right? Just kind of taking down your T1 and T2s. It's going to be very good against the Mass Serpent wards as well.
Yeah.
A little bit later down the line, but, you know, obviously Abyssal, when you're stunning people, that's great too.
Actually, I don't know. Does Crimson, does the buff do anything against wards? I don't
good
think
call.
it does.
I don't think so either.
Because it doesn't. I know it doesn't work against death wards. I think wards are their own.
No, you're right. My bad. A little bit of brain fart on my part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't see Crimson Guard that often, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's not a mechanic that you come across that often. I feel like Crimson Guard is really good against like Zoo-style teams, like against a Beastmaster, a Lycan, where there's all these units. And PL does sort of fit the bill for that, but...
Oh, it's great against PL. The illusions only do no damage.
Yeah. Crimson's an odd item. Now, Super does get his BOTs first on PL, so mobility seems to be the name of the game for CDEC. 2 BOTs is their first items. You don't see that very often.
You know, 011, despite joining these fights, he's relatively poor. Like, he's been jungling for the past couple of while, but
yeah,
I don't know. His item progression is pretty weak.
Yeah, he's not really balling out of control, that's for sure. Up top, EHOME, they got the tier 1. CDEC haven't really reacted yet, so they're saying, well, let's just keep on pushing, boys. Glyph comes out. They'll make some more treants, and now Super joins the party.
Scan.
Oh, they find some people, too. They see the rotations, and they back up. Ping's coming out in the bottom lane. Looks like EHOME is just going to try to shuffle down and play ping pong. Now they want to push this tier 1, and that'll force a few TP reactions out of CDEC. Uh-oh, Shackles as well as the Doom come out onto Old Chicken, but Q gets blown up by Lanham. One last auto attack will finish him off. Now Disruptor with the Static Storm kinetic field on the Guardian, making some space for Old Chicken. He'll be able to live. Now the glimpse back, Doom in a world of trouble. It doesn't seem like they'll have the damage to bring him down. And they actually don't. Old Chicken was just a little bit too low to try and man up on that one.
Well, they pretty much use everything on the roster, and they got the kill quick.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything left.
And they keep the Bristleback alive,
yeah,
so definitely
that's a key thing.
Big victory there for EHOME.
So it looks like it's going to be an SMY build from good old Bristleback, which is, you know, it did get buffed this patch, especially for melee heroes.
Yeah.
30% chance to maim.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes up once you get the SNY, but it's good stuff. I mean, he is super tanky right now. Just having Vanguard into Sange on the power treads, nearly 2k HP at 14 minutes. With maxed out Bristleback, I mean, how do you even think about killing this guy?
Yeah, I mean, they thought about it just now, and it did not work.
Looks like another tower will go the way of EHOME. And even looking at the net worth, man, Old Chicken is pretty far ahead of everyone else. He's really got a great farm going on.
Yeah. What happened to my level 6 Shadow Shaman? Where's my ult to push?
Well, hopefully he bought that Tome of Knowledge. Looks like somebody bought it. Not sure if it was him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either case, he's...
Dude, he is so under-leveled, though. He's level 5. The next lowest is 7. Like, he's... How did Q fall so far behind?
I mean, like, for example, right now, he's too afraid to go into lane to take EXP. Too many people are missing off the map. And he's right. Look at Old Chicken. He's kind of waiting for a Shaman to walk into a lane. There's also, on the right side, Old Lanham's waiting.
Lanham's really close to this Blink Dagger. About 100 gold, and they'll have a Blink Hex initiation on their squad, too. Hey, Windlace out on the Disruptor.
Hey, there you go. Plus 20 extra movement speed. Rabbit, by the way, kind of stalking Ice Ice Ice. He will see Ice Ice Ice. That is going to be a free kill.
Yep. Super joining the party as well with a Haste Rune. No way the Furion survives that one.
Yep.
No, nice setup. Revealing the Blink Dagger to get a kill. Definitely good stuff there. You know, I really like the idea of Windlace on Disruptor. I mean, it's good on most supports, but for him to be able to just close that gap to get a glimpse
bottom
off
lane, Blink initiation here going on Q.
Yep.
And I got a little bit of slideshow, but...
Yeah, me too. Well, don't worry. The Shadow Shaman died. We didn't miss too much.
Okay. You did get level 6?
Hey, that's good. Maybe worth it.
Probably not. Meanwhile, 11 on the mid lane, still farming away. He's been fairly quiet, but up to 2,200 now.
Yeah, he might get away with just going straight for the Relic without stopping off for the Vanguard, which would be great. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Guardian getting that mana drained. EHOME continuing to put the pressure on. Haunt is on cooldown. They did just use it for that last pickoff.
Super kind of in an awkward spot behind the tower. Lanham coming in here. Impale will hit. Does he have Hex mana? In fact, he's trying to drain everything. Finger's going to seal the deal.
Wow.
Good job by Lanham.
Yeah, great setup there. Old Chicken coming in to get some assist gold. That'll get him very close to his S and Y.
You know, I kind of just talked about it in the bottom engagement, but Lanham has a Blink Dagger. We're like 16 minutes in, right? Should he have a Blink Dagger this early?
I would say not normally, but
yeah.
Like him and the Rasta are just completely opposite. Rasta's ganks have mostly backfired. He's 1-4-0. His rotations didn't go so well. Lion is 2-1-4. He's been involved in a lot of good kills. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's been able to farm the Blink this quickly, but it's
his only death was when Bat Rider, like, Supermaned up and got the
counter
kill.
The double kill.
Like, technically he should have got the kill as well.
And it was a close call. Maybe one or two more auto attacks and he would have had it. So.
Yeah. All right, CDEC striking it back in the tower department. You were asking what Guardian's going to get item-wise. It's going to be Vanguard. So it seems like Vanguard Doom is the new hotness in China, at least.
Yeah.
In terms of how effective it is, I haven't seen a fight where, like, oh, Vanguard made a big difference here. But it just adds to how tanky Doom is.
Yeah, I mean, it also works really well in these games where you want him to be the front liner. This takes some pressure off the Darkseer so he can kind of sit back, make sure he uses his mech, and wait for that back wall. And Doom's the one that's in the front line that says, hey, guys, we're ready to fight. You want to get to my buddies, you got to go through me.
The question is, can he frontline against Bristleback, though?
He definitely needs to move into an armor item. He picks up the Chainmail.
So Blade Mail, I imagine.
Probably.
Although that
could
does
possibly be Solar Crest.
Crimson as well.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, TPs are coming in. It's going to be good old Bristleback. Just farm up a couple wards. That's a lot of gold.
Yeah. All the wards are like a hero's kill worth of golds. They're 30 apiece, and there's 9 of them. So it definitely adds up.
Is it 9 or is it 8? All right.
Great question.
It totally does not matter, but I just want to know. 10.
It's 10, so.
Because, you know, like the odd number sounds a little bit weird.
Yeah. I thought it was 3 rows of 3. That's why I went with 9, but I guess it is 10.
3 rows of 3. I like that.
Yeah. You know, grids
like 3
and
by
shit.
3. Grids and shit.
So, Rabbit, how's his farm looking? Again, changing pace here. Not going right into the Force Staff. He's picked up an Ogre Club now. So, I would guess that's going to be a BKB. Initiation, though. Spectre haunts. Glimpse back on the Bat Rider.
And that's why he needs a BKB here, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Oh, actually.
Doom on Old 11. They might be able to turn this one around. PL's here with a double damage rune on. Old 11 just gets destroyed, and now they might be able to jump on Lanham, trying to blink to the low ground. Huge stun on 3. Old Chicken now in here trying to do some damage. Super makes it out of the kinetic field. Glimpsed back. Lanham's still alive. The illusion's bringing him down low. He ends up dying, but they create a lot of space with it. Super tries to TP out. Now Rabbit kind of left behind. Uses the lasso on Old Chicken. Doing some pretty good damage here. 5 stacks of sticky napalm.
Oh, he's under the
now
fire.
The shackle, and it's huge damage.
My God, Famer's back in the fight. He's trying to man fight against Q, but Q wins this one, so he gets a little bit of experience from that as well.
What a chaotic fight.
You know, I never realized how much Bat Rider damage output is, especially when everybody's like 4 or 5 stacks. But
oh yeah.
Normally, Bat Rider, he's like a one-trick pony, right? He blinks in, does his job, and then you don't really worry about him. But he was just stacking it up.
I mean, that's one of the benefits of the safe lane Bat. He's one of the higher level heroes in the game. Now he's middle of the pack.
The fact that he had max Firefly and max Napalm was a big deal there.
Yeah, and you see it on the Bristleback, one of the tankier of heroes. Doesn't have a cloak or any magic mitigation, but still, you wouldn't really expect him to die so quickly.
Yeah, he might want to think about that department soon.
Now here we go. Tome of Knowledge gets Doom his level 11.
Man, that's why this guy's been stealing the 2, man.
He also went for the Crimson Guard, so.
Yep. He didn't have it that fight, right? He just finished it now.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, he just picked up that chainmail. But moving into armor is definitely going to be the ticket here. As the front liner, it's going to be the best way to deal with the Bristleback.
Also makes the initial Haunt illusions to not hurt as much. Obviously, Desolate does peer damage, so it ignores the armor aspect of it, but, you know.
Yeah. Spectre also getting very close to the Relic. 3,600 gold on him. So even though he did die in that last fight, still farming reasonably well. I mean, we're 21 minutes in now, so it's not going to be a good Radiance timing, but a recoverable one.
Yeah.
And also PL gets his defusal. So things are looking a lot better for CDEC after that fight. You can see it on the graph. It created the first peak here, first mountain of many possibly. From 4K net worth to actually CDEC taking the favor.
Earlier, I remember you were talking about how the build for Prophet is quite versatile. Something that we don't see too often is the Maelstrom first.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see phase drum, it's more often the Orchid that comes after that, I feel like. But this does fit the bill. It's still sort of a right-click centric semi-carry, and the advantage here is you can just clear out creeps a lot more quickly.
I wonder why he's not getting the Orchids, because Orchid is still very good this game, but I guess he's just paying respect to the fact that there is a diffusal blade on PL, and he could easily not only debuff himself, but whoever that's silenced from his team as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, though.
And it sort of deals with illusions, quote unquote.
I mean, you can also argue that having him burn diffusal charges on Orchids, sometimes that can be good because, you can use Orchid as much as you want, and diffusal has a finite amount of charges until you upgrade it. So
I suppose.
It kind of goes both ways. You can, it's all very situational, of course, like most things in Dota. Relic out on Old 11. Look out, baby. Radiance is coming.
Oh, actually, both teams kind of walking towards each other. Smoke breaks. Do they see anything? Oh, now
they see Rabbit. There's the haunt, and the slideshow continues. Kinetic field comes out. Looks like Yao's going to be the one that gets caught on the back line. Rabbit in deep does manage to TP home and also buys his Force Staff. So stopped off for an Ogre Club and then ended up completing the Force Staff anyhow. Interesting.
Okay. Losing the Darkseer was a little bit sad because Darkseer is one of those heroes that just kind of has a ton of slots and he farms relatively fast for items.
Yeah.
Like you want a Blink, you want a BKB, you want Shivas, you want maybe even Hex, you want the Guardian Greaves. So there's a lot of room left for Yao to grow and
he's actually fallen behind though. You look at net worth and he is the lowest of the cores at this point.
I mean, him being behind Prophet is not surprising, but they're just really far down. In fact, he's actually below his Doom.
Yeah.
In fact, Doom is
it's really surprising.
Man, he's fat.
I guess there isn't really too much area on the map for him to farm. I mean, often you'll see Darkseers after the laning stage just rotate into the jungle, but the Bat Rider's been clearing it out pretty effectively. So is the PL. I mean, they have a lot of farm-hungry heroes. Doom will now move into Shiva, so he's picked up the plate mail. Actually up to 20 armor now. He's gone from, he's pretty beefy to he's pretty damn tanky. A true frontliner for the squad now.
Yeah, I think what we saw out of the last 3 games that we casted is like one team just has the clear advantage of having a guy like just really, really tanky and just runs in.
Yeah.
And the other team just can't do anything about it. And that just breaks the rank of that team. This game, it's hard to say that like either team have that advantage. Because on one side you got the Bristleback, which is a tanky hero. On the other side you got Guardian, who's right now, I mean, like you said, 22 armor. He's a Doom. He's got Scorch Earth. So these team fights, when the two clash, it's hard to say who's got the, I guess, quote-unquote, frontline advantage.
Yeah. It's pretty even. It really does seem to be more about vision and who actually gets the jump.
Yeah.
Trian scouting things out, but they're smoked up. Ice, 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 caught by the lasso. Rabbit going to pull him back. Super TP's in, and this should be the end of the Prophet. Nice pick off there, though it does cost him a smoke.
Yep.
Hashtag space created. Spectre grabs the Radiance.
I mean, you could say that was a calculated risk because Ice 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 knew like everybody was missing.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, hopefully they don't get me, but they did. 11, like you said, finishes the Radiance, but he still, I want to say one more item from fight ready, I guess. Vanguard would help quite a bit here.
Yeah, I guess now the big advantage, of course, is that he can just haunt in and let those illusions do a lot of damage to the supports. Also, the mischance is, it's not nothing. 18 or 17% is, you feel it.
Yeah.
Wards used for the tier 1 tower up top could end up just being a little bit of free farm for EHOME. An interesting way to use the wards. I don't even know if they're going to be able to finish off the tower off this.
It's going to get
push.
denied, I think. Okay.
Oh. There we go. They got it. That was odd, though. That was just, hey, guys, have 300 gold and deny the tower. Really weird way. I mean, they had the whole team there. They could have committed and just finished it off.
I think the fact that Prophet was alive and there's Radiance Haunt online changed whether they thought they could have got that T1.
Yeah, fair enough. But Octarine Core, the next big core item for the Bristleback, also level 16.
Man, I missed this one. Like, when it first came out, like, I tried it so much on Bristleback.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's good. One of the things that I think confused some people is that it gives you lifesteal for spells, and some people took that to mean it gives you lifesteal for magic damage, but quills count as lifesteal. It's spell damage.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it does physical, so it's really good on Bristleback.
it just works so well with his passive, right? Because, you know, those also work with your. Unless I'm completely wrong on that.
That I can't speak to either way. I'm not sure.
We'll see throughout the game.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to say that when you get this item, you just rarely die from that point on. With that said, though, he needs to improve his armor.
Yeah.
He's only got 10.
Yeah, that's probably the next weak point. I mean, Shiva's probably a next good item for him to pick up.
Yep. Are you surprised at all by the lack of a Silver Edge being purchased on CDEC? Granted, they don't have great heroes to pick that item up, but traditionally it's just like the Bristleback Slayer, right, item-wise.
I think Doom could get it. I mean, Shiva's is a good item on Doom, but you make a really a good point. And yeah, I agree. I think of all the heroes, Doom is pretty well suited to carry it. And yeah, it gets rid of the Bristleback, but again, it also mitigates a lot of his damage output from the Quill Sprays.
For 4 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, which really helps. That can give you enough time. One of the scariest parts about trying to kill a Bristleback is that, are we going to be able to kill him before the Quills stack up?
Mm-hmm.
And you might not be able to kill him in the duration of the Bristleback being disabled, but at least gives you that window where you're mitigating huge damage output from it.
Sure. Yeah, and like Doom, you know, he likes invisibility as well, like being able to start the fight with the Doom.
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows? He could still get it after the Shivas. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a point in the game where that becomes a bad choice to deal with the Bristleback. So.
Although I want to make the argument, the old Silver Edge, when you pop out Invis, you slow them with a maim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't. So Bristleback, a fairly fast-moving hero, could just maybe run away.
Yeah.
Whereas the
you
old
have
one,
to follow up with a lasso or a shackle or something.
Yeah. You gotta really just commit hard on that one, but.
Yeah, that is another angle at
a change. Yeah, it's a change of the items.
Well, ancient stacking happening for CDEC here. I'll get it up to. Oh, that one actually missed.
I think Q's got to win some sort of award in the 6.87 days where Tome of Knowledge is introduced, and he's not level 11. He's not going to be level 11 by 30 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen that, even in my pub games.
Yeah, he's had a really rough game here. And this is one of the weaknesses of Rasta. I mean, this hero is not that popular, and we've all had those games where he gets a couple early kills with his rotations, that level 1 smoke gank works, and he can start to take over the game if he gets a 10-minute blink, but the opposite is true when he falls behind, and he's just this slow, clunky hero that kind of becomes food. Oh, scan, actually going to connect on the Bristleback here. It's a CDEC scan.
I would say he's already food. Like, whenever Spectre haunts,
yeah,
it's very likely he just dies in conjunction with the Wrath of Nature, so... I believe he has a casual cloak, but I doubt that's going to really protect him. It helps.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to pick up a infused droplet, like no joke. That's going to help you block some Wrath damage. At least 120 of it, if it does proc on that one.
Yeah. You're right, actually. This would be a pretty good range drop game for him. Because even Lion, if he hits him with a stun, that's great. Helps against Finger.
Yeah. Now,
he is going to be the target that they go for.
We do got to keep in mind that it blocks the first instance of damage as we see it teleport in. Oh no, he missed it. It didn't matter though because the Hex follow-up. And here comes the Haunt. I do believe Rabbit's going to be dead. Great silence here, preventing a Doom here on Guardian. Now they're going to keep on chasing. Here comes Ochicken. He does get Doom up, but he doesn't care.
Oh.
The wall's going to come through. I don't see anything. The wards, though, I imagine, are hitting hard. And hard enough to kill Ice Ice Ice. Doom is still continuing on Ochicken, although I don't think he cares. He's fighting against everybody. Super, a lot of trouble here. Ochicken now maybe too deep. He's still regenning. Is he regenning under the passive? It seems like it.
It looks like it. He's going to be able to live for now. The Octarine Core doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
The end of the slideshow, it's going to be a 2-for-2. A pretty even exchange, though. EHOME do lose 2 of their cores, and CDEC lose their Bat Rider alongside the Rasta support. Not surprised to see the Rasta getting picked off.
That's a great fight, considering the fact that it started with the Bat Rider getting hexed.
Yeah.
And they still got the Spectre and the Prophet. I wonder if that's, you know, the Bristleback saying, hey, let's go, because he could tank everything. But Spectre's like, I can't tank this. At least not right now.
Yeah. He still hasn't picked up another item. You mentioned the Vanguard could be a good choice
for him.
Oh,
switches to Yasha.
Yeah, going to completely go a different route. And will eventually be able to beef up, but just wants a little more movement speed for now to continue farming.
So you can make the argument that, you know, the Vanguard block doesn't work against the wards, but are the wards even the damage output in these team fights, or is it the PL?
It seems much more like the PL.
So, I don't know. I mean, obviously it also doesn't block against the mana burn of the Diffusal Blade, but just getting the Vitality booster part of the Vanguard would help you survive much more.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see him forego it. And my dream of Vanguard Abyssal in the ultra late game is now like sinking away.
Yeah, and you can also just transition that into a Heart of Tarrasque. So, you know, like right now this Ring of Regen or Ring of Health rather, is going to end up being just something he probably sells back unless he goes for a super late Vanguard or he goes for the late Abyssal. But you can't really go wrong with that value Vitality booster because a Heart of Tarrasque is basically never a bad item on Spectre.
I've seen it being bad once in my life.
One time, really?
One time. Against a Life Stealer.
Okay. Yeah,
Life Stealer is like whenever he needed HP, he just right-click Spectre twice, and then he got like chunks back. But no Life Stealer in this game.
Yeah, fair enough. The Shiva's Guard is out on Doom, and also now a BKB completed on Super. And, you know, speaking of the casual Vitality booster, he's actually taken a page out of that book. He picked it up a while ago and then went back into Magic Immunity.
Cool.
Yeah. PL's another good hero for it, though. This big old Ancient stack, soon to be a 4 stack, it looks like. Maybe this will be the time to kill it. There you go. This has turned into a really passive game here, Lumi.
I forgot to bring my rice hat from Hong Kong. I should have brought it. We're on stream.
There you go.
Q is like, give me some of that EXP, man. I'll drop my war for this.
Uh-oh, but EHOME know about it. The honk comes in from Spectre.
He didn't want to fight here, though.
It's looking okay for EHOME. The Crimson Guard gets popped, and Old 11
Spectre
does actually come in. Oh, he barely makes it down to the other side. Static Storm Kinetic Field comes out onto Yao. Super jumps into it. Finger onto Yao. Is going to be enough to find a kill on the Darkseer. Ice 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 trying to TP home. Will make it out.
Ooh.
Old Chicken now goes running back in. The Quill's starting to stack up. He's doomed, but he's still putting out a hell of a lot of damage. Now the lasso from Rabbit will lock him down.
What's
Spectre
happening?
Still alive, doing a lot of damage. I think CDEC are in big trouble. It's just too much damage between the Bristleback and the Spectre. They're all dead. What happened? Literally, what happened?
Well,
I couldn't see it.
Well, they put the lightning shield on Old Chicken. And I didn't see it either, but he's got to be regenning with his passive, right? Like, there's no way he survived through that without regenning.
Yeah, no, I think he was doomed again, lassoed under wards, and still lived
under
through
fire,
it.
yeah.
On top of fire. It's pretty absurd how much he lived through there.
I want to make the argument that fire actually helped him because it was proccing the lightning shield continuously.
Yeah, that's a good point. He did 2,500 damage in that fight. Next highest was Bat Rider at 1,600. So that just speaks to how many quills he got out. You know, how much that Bristleback was actually doing.
And he's got the plate mail, so I imagine it's AC afterwards. Although you could even say that Shiva is not terrible, but probably AC.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, the minus armor is just so it synergizes so well.
Right.
So what do you think about the casual Blightstone on Bristleback early on?
Oh, he got one?
No, but do you think is there any credence to that?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
even if you don't go Deso, just pick it up, hold it until you run out of inventory slots, sell it back at 25 minutes or something.
Oh man, the surprise in my voice was like betrayed with the fact that there's nothing afterwards. There's no Blightstone purchase.
Oh man, no, he's one of those heroes though that I thought that could be a little bit of a laning stage buff for him.
I mean, you can make the argument that you don't need it because you already have Goo.
Yeah, that's true.
But Goo.
Although sometimes Bristlebacks don't level Goo until like past level 6, depending on the lane setup.
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan on it on like range heroes because you could get that hit in much easier. But yeah, I could see it here.
Okay. Yeah, the Mjolnir though on Ice 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 is definitely it is the Shivas. Okay, is definitely huge though. I mean, you're right. It did a lot. So when the Mjolnir buff is put on somebody, in terms of damage on the teamfight recap, does the lightning count as damage from Bristleback because he's the one with the buff doing lightning?
I think that would be too broken, right? Because now suddenly he's regenning off the lightning procs as well.
Okay. No, I just like it counts how much damage you do. So is that like of that 2,500 damage he did? Does the lightning count for that, or does all that lightning damage count under the Prophet's
I think it counted under the Prophet. But
okay.
You know, with Dota, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, well, the teamfight recap is its whole a beast of its own. You know, that thing does not adhere to logic.
Like every time you answer one question in Dota, like 3 pops up, like with how mechanic works and everything. So
Dota mechanics are just like Hydras, cut off one head, and more just keep growing.
Yeah.
Well, Aegis of the Immortal now up on Old Chicken. They took out Roche, and they are hungry to fight. Glancing at the gold graph, it's gone way back in favor of EHOME here.
Was Spectre alive when they took the Aegis?
I am not sure, honestly.
Because if he was alive, I think it might be better suited to put it on the Spectre. Is
it? They've been putting so much emphasis on the Bristleback.
But has he been dying though?
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
It's also close, right? In the last team fight, he could have feasibly died.
And Bristleback is just such a good Aegis carrier because when he comes back, he has no cooldowns. So
And the quill's already stacked up on you guys.
yeah, exactly.
More, yeah.
Yeah, they don't go away through when he dies. So he's like on that Leshrac Storm level of Aegis carrier, where he's just on that next tier.
All right, here comes a smoke initiate, but Han is at the ready.
Oh, Old Chicken just walks into him. Lanham as well. The Haunt gets used, and this could be bad for CDEC. They kill the Lion straight away. They doom Old Chicken, but he's still feeling pretty damn tanky. Now the lasso comes out onto Old 11. Maybe CDEC can actually do this. It's always hard to tell through the lag.
Not sure what's happening, but Spectre's dead. Lion's dead.
CDEC took the fight. Well, wait. Old Chicken's still alive, and he's doing a lot of damage.
He's still got Aegis, by the way. Like, this is happening? I think Doom's dead if they keep chasing.
Yeah, I mean, now he has to back up. They hit him once more. Glimmer Cape.
Okay, he's still... Okay, they finally got the Aegis.
He finally dies. He's coming back up in 4 seconds.
Well, PL's actually doing a lot of work, just kind of whittling away. Here comes Q. And Q is dead now, I think.
Yeah. He's going to try to slow him down. Now Shiva's coming out on both sides. Fenrir locked in place.
Lightning.
They'll get another one. Q still alive somehow. One more auto attack brings him down, but EHOME have to commit a lot for it. It's
1v4.
just the Old Chicken left alive, and of all the heroes to 1v4, he could actually do it here, Lumi. No joke.
Oh my god.
There's goo coming out from every orifice. Is he going to be able to make it happen? Now the Shiva's on the Guardian. Oh, they found his weak point. He doesn't have a basher. They TP out right in front of him. And
I think Abyssal's next.
will just get out. Yeah.
You saw that. It's like, all right, Oh, no, you didn't.
Wow. What a crazy team fight that was. CDEC coming out big.
Okay, so judging on how that team fight went, I think Bristleback either needs to pick up Abyssal or Aghanims. I know we kind of ragged on the Aghanims earlier, but if you look at how these team fight are going, they're just completely ignoring the Bristle till the absolute end of the fight.
Yeah.
I don't think you can ignore him when he's spraying glue on every single direction.
Well, and they're a fairly melee-heavy squad, 3 melee heroes,
Sure,
and then
yeah,
Bat Rider who has to get into the mix. So I think this, I think Ags could definitely work here. And again, looking at that team fight recap, Bristleback did 6,000 damage. Doom was next highest at 3,400. That's just to put it in perspective how much he's actually doing in these
He might
fights.
get the Abyssal first just so he could like lock someone down and get the kill. Because right now people are like double gangering and surging and just like straight up teleporting.
Yeah.
He might not like that.
Well, and this is the stage of the game where that Abyssal change really is a buff for Bristleback because it doesn't take up another slot. He's still going to have a clear slot for the Ags. And then after that, I guess you ditch the S and Y and maybe think about like a heart or something to round it out. Or
I mean, maybe BOT first.
Yeah,
but the other buff to Bristleback or to the Abyssal is the 35-second cooldown versus 60. I mean, look at how long that team fight went. He could have like used that maybe twice, even 3 times, right? So I'm really sold on the either Aghanims or Abyssal, but let's see what Old Chicken thinks is best.
Time will tell. This has been a really topsy-turvy game. As soon as one team pulls ahead, you see these team fights can really go either way.
And it's hard to say who has like the ultra late game advantage, right?
Yeah. And Spectre Bristle's pretty good, but Darkseer scales very well against these carries, as does PL. And CDEC has kind of one additional core with the Doom. Prophet hasn't... Well, he hits pretty hard, I suppose. He's got a 10-second BKB
His
now.
lightning shield hits pretty hard.
Yeah. That was definitely a good item pickup.
Yeah. Although, one thing that we haven't been mentioning is that you can defusal the shield off.
He actually did it in the last fight. I noticed it got purged about partway through.
But these purge charges are, they are not limitless.
Yeah, he's got 1 left, but he can upgrade to defusal level 2. Also, Heart of Tarask now up on the PL. So he's beefy.
Oh, Scan does actually scout the fact that CDEC is coming in.
Old Chicken just says, oh, heroes, I'm ready to fight, boys. Let's go. Runs right into him, keeping the back turned.
You can see that he's not... Okay, there's that Doom.
And maybe Lasso again.
Oh, they see Fenrir.
Yeah, EHOME does have some reinforcements nearby. Now the Haunt from Spectre comes in. BKB's popped in plenty. Lanham, the one taking big damage. He's going to be the first casualty here. Fenrir soon to follow. Guardian trying to do what he can to stay alive.
Prophet TP's out, but he's not out completely. He can always TP back in. Spectre doing a lot of work on the backline. Guardian's still alive right now. Here comes the Shivas. He's working on Rabbit. Rabbit is dead. Is he? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Prophet, though, or sorry, not Prophet. The Spectre getting into trouble here as 011 is chasing him.
Buyback on the Bat Rider. CDEC really want to clean this one up. Ice teleports in as well. Old Chicken still kind of lingering about, trying to do what damage he can, but Rabbit's got another lasso. Force Staff pulling Old Chicken deep into enemy territory. He's got the Mjolnir buff on, though. I don't know if they really want to fight him. Old Chicken is doing some absurd damage here. Ice 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 back in the fray. Guardian Greaser used.
Oh!
The vacuum back. He's getting low. They'll finally bring down the raid boss. Ice 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 not going to be able to get any more recovery kills. He'll fall as well, and it's another big fight for CDEC. Gem also hits the deck.
It ain't looking good, man. He's not the unkillable that he was. He once was.
Yeah, I mean they kill him effectively there.
How many buybacks was used?
Just one. Just
Okay,
the Bat
Just
Rider.
the Bat Rider. And what? 2 lassos, 1 Doom.
Yep.
And the PL right clicking.
It took him a while, but they finally did it.
The sad thing for me to see was the fact that he had 4K gold in his bank all of this time.
Yeah.
I just think that maybe having 1 extra item would have, well, it would have definitely made a difference there.
Yeah. Just having the lockdown for the Abyss. I mean, I think he really needs the lockdown now. It's gone from a luxury to a necessity. He got kited pretty hard in that fight.
You can make the argument the Aghanim Scepter does increase the survivability, not just from the raw stats of the Aghanims, but the fact that you reduce everybody's armor so your quills hit harder, thus you regen more, is also a factor in these fights.
And also, when you're trying to get away, you can just keep spamming the goo, and everyone's getting slowed.
I wish you could just have auto cast buttons like assigned to your spells. Just have them turned on, especially when you have the Aghanims. You just run around and.
So, Aghanim's Doom is pretty good in general, but I think it's
excellent
really
here.
smart here against Bristleback.
Oh yeah, it's so good here.
Because I mean, he stays alive forever, and now they can just basically keep him doomed indefinitely until he's dead.
Or until Guardian's dead. One or the other.
All right, well, that's true. That's
Guardian is, well, he's got 27 armor. I don't think he's dying.
He's pretty tanky now. Ags, Crimson, and Shiva's 2,500 HP.
Oh.
He's pretty big.
And he's got the Purge creep, so that lightning shield is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I noticed that it seemed like it was getting purged more than just what the Fusel Blade was doing, but he has upgraded that now as well, so he's got fresh 8 charges. And Purge on Doom is really that was not a creep that you would see on Doom ever for a pretty long time, and now we're seeing it almost every game. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you used to have level def to cancel Lincolns, and now that you don't have a way to do so, the Purge creep has become the creep to go to in the late game when Lincoln starts to pop up versus Doom.
It's also just a great spell to have. Even just Purge aside, having the slow is really quite nice.
I believe they somehow scouted out the smoke because they're pinging the hell out of the CDEC heroes.
Well, they're going to fight him. It looks like Old Chicken walks right into him. Lasso from Rabbit. He gets doomed as well, and they're just going to chop him down.
By the way,
wow, he died so much faster that time.
Hold that thought. The fight's not over yet.
Buyback from the Bristleback. Fenrir uses the Glimmer Cape. He'll back up, but Roche is up. Frost Awards have come down. Now the Haunt from Spectre. Old Chicken still ready to fight. No reality in from the Spectre yet. EHOME still in kind of an awkward spot. Huge lags here as this fight continues. Super hard to tell who's actually coming out ahead. It looks like CDEC is on the back foot.
Super is trying to fight his way out of there, but he's out of mana. Nice trees blocking the way. They do win the team fight, but at the cost of a buyback here from Old Chicken. The fight's not over yet. They're chasing forward. There's a teleport in. Old Lanham's in there as well. They need to get the rabbit kill. Vacuum onto 2, and now buyback coming in. Here comes the Bristleback, though. He wants to fight this. He gets hexed up. He's under the fire. Gotta be careful. And here comes a full Super. Super, did he get glimpsed back in the base? He did! Clutch play here from the Disruptor. And now I think it's either time for EHOME to disengage or win the team fight fast. Lightning Shield doing a little bit of work here against Guardian. Guardian taking a ton of damage down to half, down to a quarter. Old Chicken, too big, too fat, too strong. No, he doesn't get the kill. Q is going to be dead. He's still chasing, but here comes PL back in the fight here, focusing on Old Chicken. Old Chicken dropping low. He's not life-stealing anything. Glimmer helping him alive, but Rabbit coming into the fight. Old Chicken barely lives, and he needs to live because he just buyback. And I think he's going to die to the Bat Rider. He's running.
Should be able to get him here. He's pretty fast. Flame Break with a little bit of extra damage. He's
regen.
healing up with every quill, but the sticky is stacking, and it's getting harder and harder. On the back line, the Disruptor falls. Ice 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 still alive. We'll be able to push back the Bat Rider. Another crazy, chaotic fight.
My God.
If there was no glimpse on the PL there, that would have just been disastrous for EHOME. Like, that was such a clutch play that allowed that to continue on for so long. But
I wonder if Super had double ganger on cooldown, because you could actually double ganger the correct moment when you get glimpse back, and you're not in the game when you're
right. They have that moment where you're phased.
Right, so you could actually dodge it. But the other mechanic interaction I want to bring up here, as it's a big part of these team fight, is that the Aghanim's Doom apply break on cast.
Yes.
Or throughout the duration of the Doom. So you saw the Bristleback. You remember how fast he died?
Because he didn't have Bristleback.
Yeah, he didn't have his passive. So that is a huge concern moving forward. Forget about like Aghanims and forget about Abyssal Belay upgrade. He needs to deal with that first.
Ice. Caught by the lasso from Rabbit. Gets pulled right into Super. They're going to have more than enough damage to bring him down. The Flame Break will even interrupt the TP out. And it's a nice pick-off for CDEC. He does have a buyback. Both teams used one buyback in that last fight, the PL and the Bristleback. And Bat Riders is still on cooldown from a while ago. Now CDEC thinking about Roshan. They're going to have to defend that top tier 3 tower first, which they can. Although EHOME, they don't want to hand this one over without a fight. They've got a small squad heading over. Not sure what Fenrir and Lanham are going to be able to do, though.
Yeah, I'm not really certain how the Radiant team's going to win this late game, considering the fact that the Aghanim's Doom is just the ultra counter to Bristleback.
Yeah, it really is the trump card. There's no... I mean, now the only way to deal with it is just to, quote-unquote, catch the Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lincolns, that's a way. Now, Haunt from Spectre. Buyback from the Prophet as well. Roche still pretty healthy. Static Storm, Kinetic Field right in the middle of the fray. Shiva's going like crazy. Looks like CDEC are the ones taking big damage here. They've already killed the Disruptor. But Guardian getting very low. Yao, Q, and Rabbit all low on HP.
Okay.
And it looks like CDEC is in big trouble. Doom's bought back now.
And they got to back off. The reason they win the fight is Old Chicken did not get doomed on, so.
Yeah. Doom still has his ult available, actually. So Roche.
That's a big prize, considering that both cores has used their buyback. Whoever gets the Doom here, for example, on Bristleback, they get a supremacy for a while.
It's a 3-on-3 here, Lumi. Bat Rider TPing to the tier 2 in the bottom lane. Roche still with about 2k HP. EHOME won't be able to finish it off, at least not quickly.
Got to be extremely careful here. If you
This
get
continues.
doomed, yeah. They're chasing forward. Shiva's Guard needs to get activated right now. They're actually going at high ground. Trees are in the way, but here comes Rabbit trying to get things done. Rabbit, though, taking a ton of damage. In fact, Rabbit could actually get burned down by Ice. Right-clicking for a decent amount. Rabbit drops his ultimate. Here comes the Old Chicken. Where's the Doom? Has it been expended? It has. It's going to be on the Spectre. I can't see anything right now, but I imagine Old Chicken is chasing people down. He's going on Rabbit. He will get one kill. Gem hits the deck. I don't think he cares, though. He's looking for more. Buybacks on both sides. Spectre uses another buyback. He's back in the fight as well, and he's got Mass Serpent wards. I know it's been a joke for the most part of the fights, but these fights have been lasting long enough that I think Mass Serpent ward is adding to a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, definitely. Roche still the grand prize here, about 3,500 HP as he slowly regens up, getting stronger over time. It's a straight-up 5v5. Q glimpse back. Static Storm, Kinetic Field. Super pops the BKB. He's ready to fight. We'll have to do this one without their Shadow Shaman. Looks like they're focusing on the Prophet. Ice getting low. He'll try to TP home, but that's not going to happen. Now stun onto Super, and on the other side, it's Old 11 trying to push back Yao. Huge damage on the Darkseer. He'll actually haunt for this.
Oh, Chicken's doing work right now. He's soaring. He's going to get yet another kill. Super goes down here, and that's PL without buyback for such a long time. They could go for it right now with the safe play of the Roshan.
EHOME have finally done it, Lumi. Guardian's going to get left behind.
Can he glimpse? He cancel the TP. He does. He cancels the CP. Guardian in a lot of trouble. He does not have buyback either. Here comes the Spectre going through with this dagger, and they do get the kill as well. All right, how good are they at pushing?
Well,
not very good.
Not that great, but still, everyone dead. No buybacks available.
This game.
What a ridiculous sequence of events. I mean, so many buybacks on cooldown with such different timers.
All right, this is the game I signed up for. And here we go. They're going to start hitting the building. I mean, Bristleback hits pretty hard when you have Warpath this stacked up.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to go for it? Are they going to go tier 3 into tier 4?
Could they actually go for the win here? They've got 4 cores down for over a minute.
Yeah.
I think they actually could win this game. They are going to go for the safe play. They get the barracks made. They're going to head topping at this tier 3 tower. There is still a tier 2 in the bottom. It's very low, but they're not going to easily be able to get mega creeps.
I mean, they could go for Roshan after this if they have enough time even, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Old Chicken's going for the Lincolns, though. Good call on that one. Going to make Doom's life a little bit more difficult.
Doom could still, like, purge to break the Lincolns and then go for it.
Yep.
So it's not like an all be all, but...
All right, so they clear out both sets of melee racks and the ranged racks in the mid. They leave the top range standing, and then they say, all right, let's finish off Roche, guys. He's still low. Best of all worlds. They do some decent damage, they push the lanes in, and now they get the Aegis.
I think the 6.87 change made a difference about Roshan surviving this long.
Absolutely.
And cost that team fight, right? Like the HP buffs that he's been getting. And we would not have such a climatic like fight without the Roche being tanky.
I think this has by far been the most even game that we've had.
Oh, yeah, and the most exciting game, too.
Yeah. has been super back and forth with these long drawn-out fights, but just again, this topsy-turvy gold graph, a direct line upwards for EHOME as they clear all that out. Nearly a 10K net worth lead as well as a 10K experience lead. Spectre, 4,400 gold. He's picked up a diffusal blade as well. Aegis of the Immortal now. Both the Spectre and the Bristleback are just massive at this stage.
So my question for you is, like, you're ahead. You just got Aegis and whatnot. Do you just go to end the game right now and not let CDEC have their buybacks?
I mean, I think so. What else would they be waiting for?
I mean, you could finish some key items, right? That's the other thing. Like, you bought yourself some farming time. But you're right. What are you farming to?
I mean, what's the next key item? Lion is going for an Aghanim's, but still very far away. I mean, Fenrir's picked up a Vlad's.
We say that, though. They're not storming up on the bot lane.
So. Oh, wow. He had it all in the courier. Okay. Maybe that's what they were waiting for. I should have checked it.
Aghanim's normally, in my opinion, kind of a joke item online. But in this game, if you could blow up all the illusions instantaneously against PL, that's a fairly big deal.
Yeah, mana becomes an issue, but it's a 20-second cooldown. And based on how long these team fights have been, I think Lion will easily be able to use that twice in a fight, assuming he has mana for it.
If you can mana drain somebody.
Yeah.
The mana drain actually pretty big as well. Like, if you mana drain, like, let's say the PL and drop him away from double ganger, kind of hard when he has, 1,400, but...
Yeah. And I think it's also pretty likely that he gets some multi-hero fingers. They're going to go right in onto Super. Blink Hex. Shiva's to follow up. He gets force stabbed all around. One way, then back again. Now Doppelganger forward. And they will just sort of disengage here. Spectre is just pushing in the top lane all the while. EHOME being a little bit patient with this.
Man, just like 5 minutes ago, it was CDEC just winning engagement one after another, just killing the Bristleback. But after a series of random buybacks, or not random buybacks, but like clutch plays from both sides.
Well, spread out buybacks. That was kind of the odd thing. It would be a fight, and then one person on each side would buy back, then another fight, and then another set would buy back. You don't see them kind of staggered that way very often. Old 11 still just split pushing here. Plenty of time left on the Aegis, about 2.5 minutes or so. Now that tier 2 tower has fallen, it is this prized tier 3 in the bottom lane. Still no glyph for CDEC. If I was on EHOME, that would be part of the timing that I'd want to hit here. You have the Aegis. They don't have a glyph available.
Yeah.
This is the time to try to make it happen.
You got 2 trucks, man. Hitting it.
Yeah. Ice just farming the jungle.
I can't see anything.
Hyperstone,
so I'm going to look at your...
I'm not too much better here.
Well, the sad thing is, if you reconnect and there's a fight...
Yeah, I'm not reconnecting at this stage, man.
It could be over.
Missing a potential first blood, that's one thing. Missing the game-winning fight is something completely different.
One can make the argument that the game-winning fight already happened, but
all right,
I agree with you.
Touche.
Yeah.
The climactic fight, perhaps.
Yeah.
Here we go. Rabbit ready to jump in. Lasso breaks on the Lincoln. Oh, that wasn't the lasso. He breaks something on the Lincoln. It's a force staff, I guess. Now the fight actually breaks out. Doom onto Old Chicken. But that means Old 11's going to be running around like crazy. He's picked up a butterfly, but actually doesn't have it yet.
Oh, he's dead. I think so.
An Old Chicken.
Or not. The vacuum wall on top of 5. Old Chicken in the middle of everything here. It looks like he's going to die, but the question is he dealing enough damage to compensate for his death? We don't know. Nobody knows except the players in the game. Old 11 taking a lot of damage. Keep in mind that he does have the Aegis Immortal, but it doesn't matter if he's like, no, he's not going to die. All the illusions are dead. Old 11 chasing forward. There's
back on the Bristle. He's
BOT'd
in. They're going to grab Yao now. It was a great start for CDEC, but now they don't have the Doom. How are they going to handle the Bristleback now?
I don't know. They don't know.
Creeps pushing in as well. Tier 4 towers taking damage. Darkseer will buy back. They still have a few buybacks remaining. The Doom and the PL, most namely.
Oh, they glimpse back.
Glimpse Guardian, yeah.
They actually saved. And the map is literally breaking apart.
Yeah, things are actually starting to crumble here. Now Super comes out. Ice.
Glimmer Cape.
Taking a lot of damage. They turn on to Q. They'll destroy the Shadow Shaman. Yao in the front lines here. Particles coming all over the place. They're just making it worse, guys.
I don't know what's happening at all. They do grab Old Chicken, but who's actually outputting the damage? I mean, Doom's actually doing a little bit, but here comes Old 11 on the background. I can never remember the last game where Spectre's completely ignored throughout all this team fight. They're still focusing. You can see that PL going for the Fenrir kill. Can he actually get it? They finally do get it, but Super very, very low. He pops up BKB, double gang coming off cooldown. He's trying to TP out. Can he make it? I think, no, he does not make it.
Oh my god, that was close. But creeps are pushing in. They've already lost one tier 4 tower, the other getting low. Darkseer is actually starting to run out of particles, folks. This is what happens when too many ion shells come. Things just start going crazy. He's shooting stars. He's lit on fire. Rocks are falling from the sky, and it's just going to get worse from here.
Well, it's not just him. There's the Radiance Burn. There's, you know, PL illusions, everything. And here comes the bottom. They're trying to break this tier 4. I don't think they'll break the tier 4 here because all of CDEC is in position.
Yeah, they just can't quite do it. At least not yet.
All right, we need to do a buyback check because...
all right, so about half of them are on cooldown, and it looks like Doom and Bat Rider available for the Dire side.
And Spectre being the key one here for the Radiant.
Yep. And Disruptor has his for now, but honestly, it feels like this game is coming down to Aghanim's Doom. If they can put it on the Bristleback, they win the fight, and if they can't, then Bristleback wins the fight. So that time he was able to buy back, get right back in there, and they had no way to deal with him, but they still hold on to their last set of barracks. So,
yeah.
I mean,
hope
I don't
is
know.
alive, but I don't know. I mean, I think the next trump for Guardian is to get Refresher, right?
I think so.
Because it doesn't matter if you buy back and you get doomed again. So
yeah.
But
And
does
he's
he
got
have
the
time?
mana pool for it at this point.
Yeah, does
He's
he have time?
Still pretty far away.
And he has to forego his buyback?
Which is really scary.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. Oh, looks like we're going to see an engagement here on Old Lanham. He's got Blink, he's got Force. Oh, no, that was... All right. That was just Prophet teleporting in. I'm all juiced up right now. This game is intense.
It really is, man. This is... Like, CDEC are on the brink, but if they wipe EHOME, I mean, there are definitely some... There is some credence to this.
They need to wipe EHOME like twice, I think.
Yeah.
But,
And next Roche is going to be pretty telling. We still don't know if it's going to be a fast or short respawn, still on the initial timer.
yeah. Though the tree is going to scout things out for the Radiant team. All right, here's a random mechanic thing I want to talk about if we have time.
Go for it.
I think if you're a support player in this game, like going into this late, I saw the...
Uh-oh, lasso on the old 11. They're going to pull him in. Now, remember, Spectre does have buyback here, so he could die, haunt after the buyback, and get right back in. Lanham comes with a stun on at least
Oh
2 or
my
3.
God!
What a finger! It's on 4! They're going to lose the Lion, or pardon me, the Spectre, but still, Lion doing
Buys
a
back.
lot.
He's
got
got
the buyback, ready to haunt in. Could they actually clean up some of CDEC here?
Prophet already doing work on the Raxus, but he actually gets... oh no, he BKBs just in time. And looks like it's going to be everybody on the side dying here. No buyback here on the PL. Without PL, where's your damage? There is no
I
damage.
think this is game. Mega
Yeah,
Creeps come
that is
out,
game.
another finger, and GG gets called by CDEC.
Oh my god. When Spectre got dragged by Bat Rider, Big D Lanham came in with a 4-man impale into like the finger of his life.
That was a 4-man impale, 4-man finger. That was so legit, and it's so rare that you see Lions even get Aghanims and then let alone be able to use it in that kind of a manner. But wow, what a game here. These two teams feel pretty evenly matched, I have to admit. That was just such a topsy-turvy matchup.
So, what was it that game? Execution, draft, a little bit of, I don't know, experience on the side of EHOME?
I think you'd have to call it execution. I mean, the draft seemed pretty even, comparable power spikes. The Bristleback got off to a crazy start. There was a point where he was like 50% net worth ahead of everyone else in the game, and it still just wasn't enough. The Aghanim's Doom was such a smart pickup here. We talked about, you know, the Silver Edge is a way to deal with it, but that was a Silver Edge, but better.
Silver Edge was like a short stopgap.
Yeah.
But this was like, boom, the
Pedal to the
slam.
metal, dude.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. They lost that fight so hard when the Doomax came up.
Yeah. It was...
Yeah.
There are so many parts of that game where I just wish we could pause and look at the team fight again. So many long, drawn-out team fights, but one takeaway for me was showing the power of the Bristleback. Like, that's a hero that has not been that popular in the last patch and hasn't been too much on this one, but he's got some power, man. If he gets early farm, he's nuts.
He didn't even get any of the items that got buffed.
Like,
There was no Blade Mail, there was no Axe, there was no Abyssal.
Yeah.
So, not that he needed it, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think the Lincolns at the end was the right choice, but it would have been nice to see the Abyssal. There was a window there, like in that 40 to 50 minute range, where it felt like Abyssal really would have made a difference, where he was getting kited like crazy. Wow. All right, so we're going to have a break, then we've got another heat up next. I think it's CDEC Youth versus somebody. I forget who the matchup is now off the top of my head, but...
I don't know, because I'm not casting it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get replaced by Winter.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right,
the stronger Asian.
Womp.
The shorter A1.
All right, well, there we go. I'm Zyori. He's Luminous. I think we're going to be back tomorrow for more China. I've got one more heat on this stream, and then we start shuffling around. So thank you so much for joining us, folks. More Dota 2 coming your way after this.